Hi friends, welcome back. Today we are going to solve LeetCode problem 921 minimum add to make parenthesis valid. Before we go through the description of the problem and some examples, I just want to mention that my channel is dedicated to help people who are preparing for Java interviews or coding interviews, and on my channel there are more than 200 solved examples which were problems taken from big tech company coding interviews such as Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Microsoft, Google, Yahoo, and many others. And those problems consist of different varieties which is important from the perspective of coding interviews such as dynamic programming, graph problems, binary search trees, binary tree, as well as string related problems, linked list related interview coding questions. So if you are like preparing for coding interviews, or if you are just learning Java concepts, please subscribe to the channel. This channel can definitely help you in your Java job interview preparation and coding interview preparation. So please subscribe it. So let's go through the problem statement. A parenthesis string is valid if and only if it is empty string. It can be written as A concatenated with B, where A and B are valid strings, or it can be written as uh, in a parenthesis A, right, where A is a valid string, like opening parenthesis A and closing parenthesis. You are given a parenthesis string S. In one move, you can insert a parenthesis at any position of the string. For example, they have given us one example, and you can insert opening parenthesis here. They have shown like one parenthesis they have inserted, or closing parenthesis they have shown us, like we can insert it at any position basically. So return minimum number of moves required to make S valid, right? So they have given us a few examples. So let's take one example, this fourth example, and one other example here. So basically let's first understand what the problem is, and then we will go through the examples and solutions. So for example, let's say if we are given this string, let's say, right? So this is a 3 character string, right? So if we want to make this a valid parenthesis string, then what we can do is, for example, we can insert one parenthesis here, right? So here we can insert one parenthesis. So now this is a valid parenthesis, right? Because every opening and closing parenthesis is there. So we can do it. So we have done this in one move, right? Because we only have inserted one position here, right? Similarly, if let's say we are given, for example, let's just take this example. Okay, so we'll just go through this first example. So let me just write down this string. So closing, closing, and then opening, opening, right? So this is the string that is given to us. So now this is a 6 character string, right? And if we want to make this a valid string, what we can do is, as you can see, these two string, like two parentheses, closing parenthesis does not have a opening parenthesis, right? So we can put two parentheses here. So now this string is balanced, this far it is balanced. And now to make this remaining string balance, we can put again two parentheses here. So now the complete string is balanced, right? So we have put 4 parentheses here basically, which is like 4 moves, they can call it. So we have to return how many moves or how many parentheses we have to put to make that string valid. For example, 4 here, as you can see, is the answer, right? So this is what the problem is basically. So we have to find out the minimum number. We have to put minimum number of parentheses, additional parentheses in the given string, right? So that the resultant string will be a valid string, like this one as shown here, right? Uh, so what we can do is, to solve this problem, is we can use a stack, right, to solve this problem, because stack is usually a very good data structure in these kind of problems to solve it. So let's go through the first example, and we will understand how we can use a stack to solve it, right? So first we will create one variable called as minimum moves, right? And this minimum moves, we will just assign this minimum moves as the, first we will assign it to length of the string, right? So first we have assigned it to 6 here, right? This is 6 characters. And then whenever we find any opening bracket, like opening parenthesis, we will put that into a stack, right? So we will go through the string character by character. So now first character, we found the opening bracket, so we put it into the stack, right? So this is a stack. Okay. And then after that, whenever we will go through the remaining characters, and when we saw a closing parenthesis, we will check if a stack has a corresponding opening parenthesis, right? So whenever we see, so in this case we have found one opening parenthesis, so we will remove that from stack, and at the same time we will decrement our minimum moves by 2, right? So now it will become 6 minus 2, which is equal to 4, right? Minimum number of moves. And why this logic will work? Because now we have already seen that two characters, right, which are valid basically. So that's why we are we are subtracting 2 from the minimum moves, right? So now it is 4. So we will see other characters now. So like all are the closing braces now, so this one is a closing brace. So we will not do anything in closing brace now, right? Because we don't have any corresponding stack character, right? Stack is empty now because we already removed this character. So we have seen closing parenthesis here, closing parenthesis here. Now we are seeing opening parenthesis here. So we will add that into the stack. Again we are seeing opening parenthesis here. So we will add this into the stack, right? At this time the string terminates. So we are done with the string basically, and whatever is our minimum moves at that time we will return as our answer. So 4 is the answer basically, as you can see here, right? And you can also notice that 4, I already explained you with this example, one example, right? That we have to put 2. So again I will show you why it is 4. So let's just see, like I'll just take this example, I'll just write it here so I can show you. So this is the given string to us, right? So this is the given string. So we will have to add two brackets here, right, to make the parenthesis, this much string is valid, and then again two parentheses here, closing parenthesis. That's why the minimum number of moves is 4 in this case, right? So let us also take one more example of this string here. So I will just remove these colors, right? So I can reuse this space. So let me just reuse this space again. So now we will go through this bigger example, right? So let's say this is a stack that I have. So we are here, so we are seeing opening parenthesis, so we will add it into stack. First we have to create our minimum moves, right? So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 and 11, right? So 11 is our minimum moves because that is the length of the string. So whenever we are seeing closing parenthesis, we will remove this from the stack. So this is out of the stack, and we will reduce this by 2, right? So now it becomes 9, right? So 9 it becomes. So again we have opening parenthesis, so we will put that into the stack, right? Again when we have closing parenthesis, we will remove it from the stack and we will reduce the count by 2, right? So now it is 9 minus 2, it becomes 7, right? So it becomes 7 now. Now we are again seeing the opening parenthesis, so we will add it to our stack, right? And then again we are seeing opening parenthesis, so we will again add it to our stack. Here we are seeing closing parenthesis, so we will remove one opening parenthesis from stack and we will reduce it by 2. So 7 minus 2 is 5. Again when we are seeing closing parenthesis, we will again remove this opening parenthesis from stack, and again we will reduce it by 2. So now it becomes 3, right, at this point. Now we are again seeing here, we are seeing opening parenthesis, we will add it to the stack. Again we are seeing opening parenthesis, we are again adding it to the stack, and here we are seeing one closing parenthesis, so we will remove the opening parenthesis from the stack, right? And then we will subtract 2 from 3 basically, right? So now we are left with 1 here, and we have finished with the string. So 1 we have to return as the answer, right? Output is 1 here, as you can see, right? And how we can, why it is 1? So as you can see, so this far the string is balanced, right? This far the string is balanced, so we have to just insert one closing parenthesis here, and then the whole string becomes balanced. That's why the output is 1. So this is how the stack solution will work. So now let's just go through the implementation quickly. So I just created a variable called as minimum moves, and this is initialized as the length of the string here. And then first we will check if the string's length is 1, then we will just return 1, right? Because if it is open or close bracket only, then we will need one more bracket, right, to make it valid, right? So that's why it is 1. Otherwise, if it's just an empty string, then we will return 0, right? Because empty string is, they already said that empty string is a valid parenthesis. So we don't have to do any moves basically. So we created a stack of characters here, and we are going from the every character of the string here, right, from 0 to the end of the string basically, and we will keep reading the character at ith location. If it is a opening bracket here, then we will just simply push it to the stack, right, as I shown you here, right? If it is just opening bracket, we'll just push it to the stack. And otherwise, if it is a closing bracket, we will check if stack is not empty and the top of the stack is a opening bracket, right? In that case, we will remove our minimum moves by 2 and we will pop out the opening bracket, right? That's what we were I showed you, right, how we pop out all these brackets, right? So that's what we are doing here. So we will do inside the for loop, and then at the end of the for loop we will just return minimum moves, right? So this is the implementation. So as you can see here, time complexity for this solution is order of n, right? Because we are going through each character of the string here, if n is number of characters, right, in the string. Also space complexity here is order of n, because we are using a stack, and worst case all the characters can go into the stack, right? So time and space complexity both is order of n of this solution. So let us take the test case, the same example that we have just tried here, right? This example we are taking, so we should get a 1 as the output of our string. So we are getting 1 as the output, right? Also let's say let's just create some sample test cases for us, we can test it out. So here if we put, so far we have balanced parenthesis, right? You can see this. So now if I put just 2 imbalanced parentheses, it should give us 2 answer, right? So it is giving us 2 as answer, which is correct. Then we can just, let's say we have completed this, now it is a balanced string, right? Now let's say if I put 4 closing bracket here, 1 2 3 4, right? So these 4 are additional brackets, so now which are making this string imbalanced, so it should give us 4. So our solution got accepted by LeetCode. It is 64% better than other solutions, and then 61% better on the memory side. So this is the way we can solve minimum add to make parenthesis valid problem using the help of stack and just one variable. Then we can identify how many opening or closing brackets we will need to make the string as a valid parenthesis string. So if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel now. My channel has over 200 solved problems of different varieties that will definitely be helpful for you in your coding interview preparation, as well as your Java telephonic interview and initial screening rounds. So please subscribe to the channel, and if you find this video helpful, please like it and subscribe it. Your subscription is really important to us, because this is the way the video can reach to more people. They can also watch these videos and get help during their job interview preparation. So please subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching this video.